Okay, hello and welcome to this real estate modeling course. I want to give you an introduction to the course here and explain how to use it most efficiently. Now, I know you probably want to jump into the financial modeling and case studies right away, but I do want to take a few minutes up front to explain these topics because especially if you have limited time or you need some type of weekend crash course plan, you do need more efficient methods. This is a rather long and in-depth course, so I want to give you a faster approach as well. So we're going to cover these points in this lesson. I'll explain some of the prerequisites. I'll also explain how we're different from other real estate training. By the end of this video, you should have a good idea of what to do next after watching this intro video, whether it's focusing on one small part of the course or going through everything sequentially. So the outline for this lesson is as follows. I'll start with the course prerequisites, then I'll go into the study plans and course completion options, then I'll explain how this course is different, and then I'll conclude with a quick overview of the real estate sector as a whole, meaning individual properties here, and explain how they're different and how the modeling process is a little bit different depending on the property type. Let's start with the course prerequisites. This course assumes that you have at least intermediate knowledge of Excel, valuation, and simple cash flow based models. You don't need to know VBA, Python, or other programming languages. You don't need advanced financial modeling skills. You don't need to know anything about mergers and acquisitions or merger models. It does help to know a little bit about basic leverage buyout or LBO models though, because many real estate models are effectively LBO models. Overall, you should know roughly modules 1 through 3 of our Excel course that cover shortcuts, formatting, and formulas. And then in the financial modeling course, you should know modules 1, 2, 4, 7, and 11, which cover accounting, 3-statement models, the time value of money, DCF analysis, and basic LBO models. Now, as a quick test to see if you know enough to finish this course, if I gave you a company's annual report, would you feel comfortable building a simple discounted cash flow model based on its unlevered free cash flow? I'll pull up an example to illustrate. So here's a pretty simple model for Steel Dynamics, the steel manufacturing company that starts with revenue, goes to EBIT, NOPAT, and then unlevered free cash flow. This one is not very complicated. The actual model is maybe 40 or 50 rows. Would you feel comfortable doing something like this in Excel using simple percentages and growth rates if I gave you a company's annual report and other information? So that's the first test. The Excel test is as follows. If I gave you these two formulas for XLOOKUP and SUMIFS, could you look at them and tell at a basic level in words what they are doing or what they are attempting to do in an Excel spreadsheet? And then a third test is, can you navigate around Excel the way I'm going to demonstrate right now without using the mouse? So I'll pull up the same Excel file and then we'll jump up to the top and then we will go down here and select a bunch of rows, delete them, and then undo that change, and then go over here and let's change the color coding a little bit. I'll change the borders and underline. And let's go up here and I'll change the font color. And by the way, I'm doing all this without using the mouse at all. So would you feel comfortable doing something like what I just demonstrated in Excel without using the mouse? Now, if you can do all of that, you should be fine for this course. If you can't, or you don't feel comfortable with these tasks or formulas, I would recommend completing our Excel or core financial modeling courses first. If you don't want to do that, you could try to learn. We do have a lot of free content on YouTube. We have a lot of free content in the knowledge base on this site. You could read a book, you could complete other training, but you need to know at least some basic Excel and financial modeling skills to complete this course. Let's go through study plans and course completion options now. So module 1 of this course has 6 simple case studies that range from 30 minutes to 90 minutes, and they act as a crash course for everything else. There are 4 acquisition examples and 2 development examples here. So buying an existing property for acquisition versus developing a new property for the ground up for development. If you have 5 hours, I would recommend completing the first 3 case studies here, which are in lessons number 2 through 7. These give you a good mix of acquisition and development examples and different complexity levels. If you have 10 hours, I would recommend completing all 6 case studies in this intro module. It may not actually take you 10 hours. This is sort of the upper end, but if you have more than 5 hours, this is what I'd recommend. The last 3 case studies after this just cover a few additional examples and some slightly less common scenarios. If you have more like 20 or 25 hours, I would recommend completing the whole course because that's about how long it'll take.